Direct Connection is made by MPT to serve all of our diverse communities and is made possible by the generous support of our members. Thank you. Live from Maryland Public Television, this is Direct Connection with Jeff Salkin.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for tuning in for Direct Connection. Coming up tonight, how to tell if that family heirloom could be the $1 million collectible. Your chance to ask the appraiser is coming up. First tonight, the holidays are over, and it is time, unfortunately, to get more serious about what we eat. Joining us in the studio for this week's Your Health segment is Kathleen Parkman, a registered dietitian at the Center for Weight Management and Wellness at the University of Maryland Medical Center. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
You have brought us a delicious-looking array of plastic food.
Oh, it's delicious.
Look forward to talking about that. But the most interesting thing you have on the desk is the test tubes. What's in those?
So in these test tubes, I have sugar, lots of sugar, that are found in daily objects. For example, this one is soda, 12-ounce soda. You have this much sugar in there.
Nobody would consider for a moment eating that much sugar. That's got to be, in terms of teaspoons, 10?
16 plus, I would think. Lots and lots of sugar, and you don't think that because it's liquid and it just goes down so easily. But it's not good for you or your body.
I'd never seen it expressed that way before, but you have some other tubes.
Yes, Hershey bar. This one is your Hershey bar. Then I have your famous Pop-Tart. So fueling up for the start of a busy day, you're putting this much sugar in your body just with one Pop-Tart. But how many Pop-Tarts are in the package too? So you're doubling your sugar.
Yeah, they're about 200 calories each, I think.
With that much sugar in the Pop-Tart. Then we have the vanilla ice cream. Okay, so just by looking at sugars, starting to cut down on your sugars, you're going to start such a more healthy lifestyle for yourself. Okay.
Sugar, obviously it tastes good.
It does.
We like it in various things. What does it do to the brain? Is there like an addiction side of this?
Definitely.
Do you get a little buzz?
Definitely. When you eat sugar, you have these dopamine responses, these hormones that are released in your brain, and they make you happy. There's this surge of happiness, and that's what we get when we eat a cookie or a brownie, let's say. But those hormones, they crash, and they're gone in, 2 to 5 minutes, leaves you feeling kind of crappy. So we want to cut that cycle and choose whole foods, lots of fruits, vegetables, and really fuel our bodies for a positive day.
How do we as individuals kick the habit? I mean, I guess there's two questions. As a society, how do we kick the habit a little bit? But as an individual who likes a little vanilla ice cream now and again, I really don't do much in terms of sodas, but ice cream's pretty good.
It is. So the first thing is awareness. I want everybody to know what you're putting in your body and the amounts that you're putting in your body. I'm not saying you're never going to have a cup of ice cream again, but it is a sugar food, and that's where it comes down to moderation. Having a cup of ice cream maybe once on a weekend or once every 2 weeks instead of every single night. That's when it becomes detrimental.
And it's also, as you say, in all the stuff that you wouldn't know it's in. You have some little test tubes maybe that relate to that, but I had a yogurt today. I happened to look at the label because I knew you were coming, and and item number 1 was yogurt, milk, whatever. Item 2, and they list them in order of percentages, was sugar.
You might think you're choosing a healthy product like Greek yogurt. That was the new go-to food last year. Everybody was eating a Greek yogurt, but if you're not careful, that Greek yogurt has so much added sugar in it. And so, you think you're eating a healthy product, but you're really not. And that's where it comes down to consumer awareness and, educating yourself with what you're eating.
There's also some buzzwords that are maybe a little bit misleading. If you see that something says, big letters, this is fat-free, it doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you.
No, and that's so misleading. Like fat-free ice cream or fat-free cookies. It has sugar in it still, and sugar is that addictive quality where it's going to fuel you and just leave you wanting more and more.
I guess our problem is that we're designed, our taste buds are designed so that Sugar tastes good, salt
Exactly.
tastes good, fat tastes good.
Yeah.
And we tend to kind of rotate from one to the other. If you have something salty, then you're looking for sugar
Something
next.
sweet to balance out your palate, definitely. And it takes time to come down, but it's important to do that because the less sweet you have through sugar, the more you're going to appreciate the natural sweetness in, let's say, an apple or raisins or a banana. And that will taste good.
Let's take some phone calls. We'll start in Harford County with Jeanette. Jeanette, thank you for the call. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I was
Hi.
just wondering how diet sodas affect you as compared to regular sodas.
Great question. Thank you so much.
Great question. Diet sodas, they are, sugar-free, but they're still feeding that that response in your brain that thinks you're having sugar and having sweetness. So it's still fueling that cycle that you're on. So yes, it's better, much better than a regular soda, but it's no way comparable to water. And water is what you really want to get onto.
Now, if somebody comes to you and says, I want to lose X number of pounds.
Right.
Where do you start?
Drinks. Drinks are really the number one area that I start looking at because too often people are having so many calories in the drinks they're having throughout the day. It's not necessarily the food or the portions that they're having, it's just the liquid calories with the frappuccinos, the sodas, the sweet teas. So I would definitely start there and look into that.
We brought you the glass of water that's on the desk, but that may be the most important thing here.
It really is. You have to get your 8 cups of fluid in. A lot of times that hunger you're feeling throughout the day might be thirst. Our bodies, misrepresent the hunger for the thirst. So grab a glass of water before you grab a snack.
Does that work in terms of filling up your stomach a little bit?
Oh yeah. And it'll help you feel satisfied. And then the hunger goes away. You didn't really need to eat something.
All right, let's talk about the plastic foods that
Okay.
you brought with you. Maybe with the fruits?
Yes. Okay, so these are our fruits. I have an apple, some grapes, and a banana. Now, the apple is really wonderful because the size. You get an apple in the store nowadays, and it's
The size of a grapefruit,
this big,
sure.
a child's head. Okay, this is the actual size of an apple that you want to go for. Okay, likewise, grapes. Grapes are wonderful, but if you're eating the full, thing of grapes, that's a lot of sugar that you're putting into your body. So
Why is portion size important when we're talking about what we perceive to be healthy stuff?
because when it comes down to it, it still has sugar in it, and we still need to have moderation in everything we have. So half a cup is what you want to go for your fruits.
Is that meant to be a partial banana, or is it?
So
Can we eat the whole banana?
This is actually meant to be a partial banana.
Okay.
I would say go ahead and eat the whole banana, but try not to buy bananas that are,
The
3
foot-long
foot long.
banana,
Yeah,
right.
a foot long.
Yeah.
Try to buy reasonable bananas.
Let's take a phone call. Baltimore County, this is Jacqueline. Jacqueline, thank you for the call. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Matthews. I'm a registered nurse and a mom, and I just have a problem with staying consistent with dieting. I'm motivated, but then I start and then I stop. I get hungry and then I stop the diet.
Thank you for the call. Can I ask, what have you tried?
I've had lap band surgery.
Okay.
I've tried dieting on my own. I just can't stay consistent. Like recently, I just bought a powder protein shake from Walmart, and I started, and I did really well, and I lost 7 pounds. But then I got hungry, and I went back to eating, things I'm not supposed to eat, the carbs.
Thank you so much for the phone call. Good luck to you. Great call, and you deal with a
Great
lot of
question.
people.
I deal with this all the time, specifically with lap band surgery or any kind of gastric surgery. The biggest mistake is trying to do a fast fix with the protein shakes, any kind of juicing, any kind of those fad diets. This has to be a lifestyle change that you are going to be able to keep up for the rest of your life. Liquids are going to leave your stomach a lot faster than solids. Hence, you're going to get hungry sooner. So you got to focus on that solid protein first, and then lots of fruits and vegetables, and you'll feel really satisfied and you won't want a snack.
What about the idea of a commitment device? You have something like, we know as human beings we're fallible, and the ice cream is going to call to you at some point. But if you have a diet buddy, you have a partner, maybe it's one of these, your wristbands that you see everybody wearing that communicates with your phone. Maybe it's just keeping a log. I don't know. What have you had success with?
People have success with writing things down, which is the easiest thing. MyFitnessPal is a great option because you can connect with your friends and it holds you accountable to what you're eating. But by writing down what you're having, by putting it in your mouth, you have to write it down. You know what you're eating. And you might see that, oh, I'm eating ice cream a few more times a week than I actually thought I was doing that. And it's easier to make changes that are going to last. Nike Fuel Band, Fitbit, Jawbone, those are just a few of the pedometer apps that are out there.
Can I go old school here and
course.
just count calories?
Of course. I don't like counting calories because you get too caught up in the numbers. And two people can eat the same amount of calories. One can eat calories in donuts and ice cream. Another person can get whole foods with proteins. Same amount of calories, but very different experiences. So you've got to focus on whole foods, unprocessed foods, and listen to your body because it's very smart.
Let's squeeze in one more call. Howard County, this is George. George, thank you for calling. Go ahead.
Are artificial sweeteners worse for you than sugar?
Good question. Thank you, sir. Well, we talked about this in terms of sodas.
Right. I'm a fan of everything in moderation. A little bit of Splenda, a little bit of Truvia is not going to kill you at the end of the day. It's much better than sugar. But if you're having a whole container of Splenda a week or a whole container of Equal or whatnot, that is a problem.
Now, back to the desk here, we
Yes.
have the plastic food models, and you have some mac and cheese and a tennis ball. Portion size?
Portion size.
Good. Didn't want to eat the tennis ball.
I'm not going to make you eat the tennis ball. Tennis ball is your serving of carbohydrates. So the mac and cheese, your pasta, your potatoes. So again, I'm not saying you can't eat this stuff, but it is the amount that you're having. That is really important.
Role of exercise.
Vital. Really important. 10,000 steps a day. That's the goal for everyone out there. Get up, get moving. It can be small spurts, 10 minutes here and there. Leave the desk, take a walk around the building. That's going to make you such a more productive person, such a happier person, and really rev that metabolism.
Hey, what's one of the ironies, I guess, of everybody's New Year's Eve resolution being to lose weight, and then the snowstorm comes in, it's going to be 20 degrees outside. It's a tough time to do it.
It is. There's ways you can do it at home. Exercise videos, you just plug into your machine. Get fit while you sit. I believe PBS does that. Great exercises you can do while you're sitting in a chair. Take some laps around your living room, go to a mall, do some window shopping that way. So there's lots of things, no excuses.
Kathleen Parkman is with the Center for Weight Management and Wellness at the University of Maryland Medical Center. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. Now, this Thursday at 8 p.m., NPT launches Season 5 of Chesapeake Collectibles. Here's a preview.
As we know, Francis Scott Key pens the Star-Spangled Banner, which later becomes our national anthem. We can see how he, in fact, has signed the documents. It's exciting to me when you see historical documents like this that he actually handled them. He actually touched them.
There's quite a market for these, and people are fanatical about some of these different styles. These are from the kind of the late 1800s to the 1920s. But they're so individual. They're just absolute works of art.
An image of a Civil War soldier who happens to have come from the very area here where we are, here in Maryland. He was a slave in Mount Airy, Maryland.
A stone's throw of where we are?
I do not know the exact plantation that he was on, but he was on the one of 5 or 6 that was in this area.
Right place at the right time.
Right place at the right time.
You wear this, right?
I do. It's fun to wear. People notice it. It's good to be czar.
As they say, yes.
The auction market, you can expect to yield probably 5, 6, 7,000. And in a retail big city market like New York or Paris, probably 2 or 3 times that.
Wow.
And joining us now in the studio is appraiser Mark Grove. He is a accredited senior appraiser by the American Society of Appraisers. Mark, thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
I think everybody who has watched Chesapeake Collectibles or Antiques Roadshow has seen the expertise that you and others have, and I think I speak for a lot of people when I ask, how do you know so much about so many different things?
Well, I'm 60 years old, so I've learned a lot that way just by being exposed. I'm also a second-generation collector and antiques dealer, now retired.
So you grew up with this?
I did. And as a dealer, you buy and sell and trade. And when you do that, you make a lot of mistakes. And when you make a $100 mistake, you generally don't make it twice.
Do you have a particular area of specialty?
Americana, but in general, all personal property except for gems, coins, and stamps.
What's been your experience with shows like Chesapeake Collectibles? The idea that they become these incredible events, and whether people find out good news or bad news, they're having a good time.
Yes. It's as much fun for the appraisers as it is for the viewing public.
Anything stand out in your mind in terms of items that have been brought to your attention that maybe you wouldn't have expected?
Collections of canes. I've seen several cane collections over the years here at Chesapeake Collectibles. Art, very expensive art, very rare art, and other small things.
What's the role of technology in this? I mean, I guess as it's possible now to look things up, anybody can Google anything. Do people, when they come to see you, apart from these programs, have better information, or maybe sometimes they have bad information?
Both can happen. With the internet, everything has changed, and it's changed rapidly. Anyone can have access to the same information that appraisers do, but the difficulty for the non-professional is winnowing through the information that they have to the information that they actually need in order to make a decision.
I guess on these programs, when people come in, there's kind of this mixture of greed and fear. You know, the greed is that maybe whatever's in that dusty box is going to pay for the beach house. The fear is that they might make a mistake. They might throw out something or sell it at the wrong price.
Well, exactly. And I advise my clients that before they throw anything out, they should have it looked at by someone such as myself.
How do you know where to turn? Obviously, you know, the programs have brought recognition and publicity to a lot of people. Where does somebody start?
If you need an appraiser, probably your best start would be the National Appraisers Societies, the American Society of Appraisers, and there are two others. There's also a British version, the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. I would start there and just look for an appraiser. And there'll be a link right on the main page, search for an appraiser.
Are there different types of certifications to look for?
Yes. In the United States, there's no licensing of personal property appraisers. And personal property is portable property, such as what I have here on the desk, or anything that you can pick up and move. So you have to use the societies in order to find a credentialed person that knows what they're talking about.
We'll get to the stuff on the desk. Let me take one phone call. St. Mary's County, this is Karen. Karen, thank you for calling. Go ahead.
Yes, I would like to know, I have some silver dollars that are from 1921 to 1923 to 1925. Are there any value to those?
Karen, thank you. Best of luck.
Yes, sterling silver and especially coins has value because of the metal value.
So at a minimum, it's an ounce of silver?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and what you can do is you can go online and just Google spot metal value daily, and you'll pick up a couple of different websites where you can look at the value of spot metal for that particular day, and it will fluctuate. It's like stocks and bonds do.
But I think she was hoping for more than, what's an ounce of silver these days?
A little bit less than $16 an ounce.
Okay.
But
So how do you find out if it's that rare coin that might be special?
That is particularly difficult. You have to find someone that's impartial and knows a lot about coins. And there are people that are specialized just in that, and you can also find them on the websites for the societies.
You mentioned something important when you said impartial. We did a similar interview years ago, and I remember the guest saying that it's good practice, pardon me, not to sell an item to the person who's doing the appraisal.
Yes, it would be a conflict of interest. Whoever's appraising it should never buy it.
Okay. One more phone call, then we'll talk about these items. Deborah in Charles County. Deborah, thank you for the call. Go ahead.
Good evening. My parents, I inherited a coin from my parents, and it looks like it's really very old, like centuries old, and I don't know exactly where to go to get it appraised or who to trust to do that.
Good question, Deborah. We'll get you an answer on the air. Best of luck. Where do you start? Plenty of coin dealers around.
Well, there are, but the American Society of Appraisers has accredited coin appraisers, so that would be a good place to start.
Okay. Now, in terms of the, I was going to jokingly call them door knockers that you brought, but they're something different.
Well,
tell us about them.
Well, they if they were a little bit heavier, they could be door knockers. They're made out of different materials. And most of these are brass. Sometimes they're bronze. Sometimes aluminum. But these are called paper holders, paper clips, bill clips. You can use any of those terms to satisfy the description. And what they are is they're spring-loaded. I'll use this one right here. This is a figure in relief, obviously a military uniform fellow, and he is Napoleon. And there's a spring in the back so that there's some tension. And what you can do is you can put a sheaf of paper in here and hold it. And then in the back, there's a hole, and you can hang it right on the wall or on your bulletin board for display. And that's one of the reasons why it's called a bill clip or bill
Did you say how old this is?
Well, this one is, in general, they started making them in the early 1840s when industry became prevalent across North America and England and continental Europe. And with industry came administration, and with administration came men with desks and paper that they moved from one side of their desk to the other. And in the summertime, when the windows are open, the breeze would blow the papers around. So therefore, you would need a paper holder or a paper weight. And the heavy paper holders serve to do both.
Quick valuation, and I don't want to, maybe I'm overemphasizing valuation here because there's other important things to these items. I mean, there's the historical, there could be sentimental value, but rough number, are these something of special value?
Yes, monetarily, they range anywhere from the ones here on the desk. These are particularly nice ones and some of my favorite. So they're going to be more valuable just because they're very nice. But the latest ones are from probably the 1940s, and they're plastic, and they're not very valuable at all, just a few dollars. But these are in the hundreds of dollars.
Okay, let's squeeze in one more phone call. Prince George's County, this is Bob. Bob, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Good evening, gentlemen. My question is, when my mom retired from the government printing office, she was given a book, like bound in a book, $100, consecutive serial numbers, uncirculated $1 bills, and there are silver certificates. And there's also another, like, bound book that has all the signatures of her friends and people she worked with. What would be the value of something like that?
Bob, thank you for the call. I'll get you an answer on the air. Where does he turn for advice?
Again, a specialist in money, numismatics and paper money. They would be able to look at the dollar bills and grade them in terms of their condition. And I'm sure that the series of numbers in a series make it that much more attractive to a prospective collector.
Accredited appraiser Mark Grove joining us. Mark, thanks for your time. This is a lot of fun.
You're welcome.
Thursday at this time on Your Money and Business, fighting the winter blues with thoughts of summer. We'll meet the new leader of the Maryland State Fair and then join us Friday at 7:30 for a legislative preview program. Now, for all of us here at MPT, I'm Jeff Salkin. Thanks for watching and have a good night.
Your health segments are a co-production of Maryland Public Television and the University of Maryland Medical System.
This program was made by MPT to serve all of our diverse communities.